Annette, let him come in, please. So, Omarosa, what do you have to say for yourself?
You know, everybody likes, the comfort of being a follower without the discomfort of being a leader. I stepped up, I took a risk, we lost, but I take accountability for the plan that I put in place, and I look to these ladies, to my team, to implement it, and we just came up short.
What do you think, Carol?
I think I stepped up in every moment that I could. When there was a void to be filled, I stepped in. When I disagreed with something, I said so, but ultimately, Omarosa was our leader, and I would always defer to her because she was making the ultimate decision.
You don't like Omarosa very much, do you?
I have nothing against Omarosa. I have the utmost respect for what she's accomplished on The Apprentice. However, I just felt that that got in the way a bit. I think that she was very secure in what she was doing, and almost overly secure.
They all loved the fact that I've been on the show. They tried to exploit me for that and extract information from it. And now she sits here and says it's a liability. Why
it ultimately appeared...
Well, because it's convenient because you're sitting in front of Donald Trump.
Because it's now the end of the task,
you asked me yesterday.
What the problems were.
I shared information with you all, and now you have the audacity to sit here and criticize me for being helpful.
Tiffany, you look a little scared. You know, you're dealing with two people that are a little older than you, two people that have been through the wars. You really haven't been through the wars, and I can see that. Do you feel a little nervous or a little scared being with these two? Because they're pretty intimidating.
Not at all. I've been.
And by the way, I have to tell you, Carol, I'm very impressed with. I mean, she's tough, and Omarosa, you have to say that.
She's fighting.
She's fighting. She was
fought for 2 days. Come on.
I think across the board, everyone worked really hard. At the end of the day, we were mentally and physically exhausted. Am I scared of anybody?
Were you exhausted?
Heck no. I was in the pageant system.
Don't even talk about exhausted. Don't even say you were exhausted. Just
we worked
put it out of your mind.
very physically hard in engaging with these people. And
did you undersell relative to the other people on your team?
There's no way of knowing, because as far as Mary Lou is concerned, she brought in the biggest dollar. And thank God, not all of us have those contacts.
Hey, look, you have one of the greatest contacts.
I do.
He's a friend of mine. You could call him up. You could say, would you do me a favor? Would you buy a hot dog for $10,000? It's for a charity, right? And you never did that. And I think he would have been the first. He probably would have said, no, I'll give you $100,000.
We made a group decision to be very careful who
made that decision? Because the men made the opposite decision, and they kicked your ass. Who told you to not do that?
We were consciously aware of the fact that if we remained in this competition, we wanted to use our resources to the best of our ability. Asking Mr. Hefner to buy a $10,000 hot dog right now... He should have done it.
He would have done it.
So you were holding back for another task?
I was holding back for a bigger task.
Yeah, but a lot of time... There's no bigger task. In the meantime, you may be fired, right? What's the bigger task? You may be watching the bigger task.
I understand that.
You're not going to win by selling $2 hot dogs.
And we talked about that, upselling, and I learned that from Omarosa.
I wanted them to sell at $1,000, $5,000.
You respect Omarosa.
I do. I respect...
I think, Carol, you in a certain way respect. You probably hate her, but you respect her.
No, I don't hate her.
You hate her. Give me a break. Omarosa, if you were me, who would you fire?
You know, I actually think that Tiffany has potential. She has an open mind, and I think she wants to be here. Carol, I just think that she should probably go.
All right, let me just make a decision, because, to be honest, it's not the easiest one. I'm disappointed that Omarosa didn't do a better job as the captain. I'm disappointed that you didn't do a better job in terms of being a New Yorker and giving them the right location. And I can't say I'm disappointed in Tiffany, because she's young and she's against these two killers, and they're killers. But I'm disappointed that you didn't call a very good friend of mine, Hugh Hefner, and say, sir, would you contribute? You forget about saving it for later. There is no later. This is the time. So I say, Tiffany, you're fired.
Thank you, Mr. Trump,
Thank you very much, too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's a nice person, and unfortunately the nicest person is going home, but oftentimes in business that's the way it works, sadly.
before we go in there, we leave it in the boardroom.
Absolutely.
Deal?
Yeah, absolutely.